Check this for a headline. The Little Mermaid splashes to $164 million global bow, but there's something fishy overseas as Disney pick beset by review bombing. They're going to start calling everyone racist now who didn't like the movie. That's right. Oh dear, oh dear. I mean, this is regular like clockwork. Now, it couldn't possibly be that, certain demographics don't respond well to... I don't know, like, maybe they just don't like the movie. There's many reasons why people don't like the movie. Who knows? But just to be like, it's all review bombing, that's it. French people, they just review bombing the film. Oh, for goodness sake. Regular like clockwork. As always, let's take a look at this. Hit subscribe if you're new here. So, is this a good take for starters? $164 million. Is that a good global? Is that a good global amount? Difficult to tell, really. Really, really difficult to tell at this point in time because don't really have much to compare this to. Not in the post Disney Plus world. So one of the movies that released on Disney Plus at the, at the time of its kind of release and around that time when Disney Plus was coming to prominence, didn't do that well. A few of them didn't do that well, actually, like Mulan, for instance. There's a bunch of these live-action remakes that have bombed, but a lot of them do generally exceptionally well, and 9 times out of 10 actually hit that billion-dollar mark. So, I don't know. Who knows whether this is going to be good at this point in time. It'll be next week that we know for sure. But what we do know for sure is that apparently review bombers are out in force, particularly in France, Germany, Korea. Hilarious. So Disney's live-action take on The Little Mermaid is doing swimmingly at the domestic box office with a 3-day opener of $95.5 million and a 4-day projection of $117.5, factoring in the international box office bow of 68.3. That's quite low for worldwide, outside of just domestic. That makes for an estimated $163.8 million global debut through Sunday. So the offshore launch is lower than hoped. That's exactly what I just said. That's quite low for coming into the frame, but it bears noting there was something fishy going on. Here you go. So it's lower. It's lower than they wanted, and they're like, well, it bears noting that actually there's something fishy going on. So they're going to blame review bombers now for this movie not doing well in certain markets. That's absurd. So while the Rob Marshall directed update pick has a 95% verified audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, which you can only get. I think you can only do that actually in. So it says film ratings website overseas, including IMDb, blah blah blah. I think you can only get a verified audience score through Rotten Tomatoes if you bought through Fandango, which means you can only do that in the States. So this doesn't mean anything. I know film ratings websites overseas, including IMDb in the UK, Brazil and Mexico, as well as Allociné in France, posted advisories during the rollout where negative user reviews appeared in questionable abundance. That's right. Could possibly be that people just think it looks like shit. Couldn't possibly be that. As we noted on our global preview, The Little Mermaid was expected to be more of a domestic play at the outset. However, it's fairly astonishing to see these overseas reactions, largely believed to be led by internet trolls. It's just always trolls, isn't it? For goodness sake. It's so lazy. In France, where Little Mermaid launched on Wednesday, Allociné wrote, "We are currently observing an unusual distribution of scores which demands the need for caution. We encourage you to make up your own mind about the film. While not unprecedented, this is a rare move. To be fair, critics at some respected outlets, including Libération, Premiere, and Les Inrecuptibles, did not like the movie, giving it just 1 star. That's right. Oh my god. Fancy that. Not everyone likes the movie. Fucking idiots." On IMDb, a warning reads, "Our rating mechanism has detected unusual voting activity on this title. To preserve the reliability of our rating system, an alternate weighting calculation has been applied. That note appears on the US, Canadian sites, as well as for the UK, Brazil and Mexico. Basically, people don't like it. So, yeah. We couldn't possibly live in a world where someone didn't like The Little Mermaid. It's just obscene. It's absolutely obscene rhetoric that they keep pushing on this nonsense. So IMDb says it publishes weighted vote averages rather than raw data averages. Although we accept and consider all votes received by users, not all votes have the same impact for weight on the final rating. When unusual voting activity is detected, an alternate weighting calculation may be applied in order to preserve the reliability of our system. Wrong thing. The website explains. However, it does not disclose the exact method used to generate the rating. Wrong thing. That's all it is. You thought wrong about this film. We'll correct your score. Fucking absurd. So in Germany, Movie Pilot showed a rating of 0.7 out of 10 before The Little Mermaid release, far lower than any comp title. Traction increased throughout the weekend, moving to a 5 rating. Some gripes have been about murky lighting, or even just the why of it all when remaking a classic. In some pockets of the world, there has sadly been a racially tinged commentary. Korea, SBS News reported heading into the weekend that the film had been subject to ratings terrorism. Oh my god. In an article whose title Korean entertainment website ZapZ translated to Backlash Against Black Mermaid, appearance ridiculed, ratings dropped 1 by 1. But the appearance is shit. Look at this. This looks ridiculous. Sorry, it does. There's a lot about this that looks ridiculous. So yes, the appearance would be ridiculed. On the ratings portal of Korea's Naver, over the past several days, there has been a trend of negative reviews receiving hundreds of likes and positive reviews getting hundreds of thumbs down. Oh, you mean Koreans don't like the movie? What? Many ultimately have praised Halle Bailey's performance. I don't see anyone coming out saying Morbius was review bombed, for fuck's sake. Like, what is going on? And in China, it's just a disaster. There's no audience score on Maoyan. Unusual for a film already in release for several days. The box office through Sunday is dismal. $2.5 million. With a full run of $4 million. Here are the top 5 markets on the movie open. Mexico, 8.5 million. UK, we only did 6.3. Jesus. Italy, 4.7. We got a bank holiday weekend this weekend as well. 6.3. That's terrible. Brazil, 4. Australia, 4. It says more. There is no more. Anyway, it's all review bombs, guys. You bloody French racists. Apparently, you Korean racists. Absolutely ridiculous. What an absolute joke. Seriously? This is garbage. So $164 million. Is that good or bad? Meh. Well, that's worldwide. It's only done, and it is only because it's not a lot. $95.5 million domestic. It's not that good with a 4-day projection of 117.5. I mean, that's not great. Like, it would have to have really good word of mouth and holdover. That's where this movie makes its money. Because otherwise, this is like a, this will be a bomb. But we don't know yet. But it doesn't look good. $117.5 million. It doesn't look great, does it? No. Now, let me know what you think. Apparently everyone's just racist now. Of course they are. Couldn't possibly be that they just don't like the movie. Or just thought it was ridiculous to make us, remake a beloved classic. Yeah, no, couldn't be any of that. Of course not.